This is the Competency 5 practice activity sheet I asked you to download. By now you should have completed the sheet. Now we will look at the answers. Use the image below to complete the following activities. You should have circled any three-part unit consisting of a sugar, a phosphate, and a base. And you will see I have circled a nucleotide and label it as A. So we have a three-part unit consisting of a sugar, phosphate, and base. Part B asks you to label the sugar and phosphate. You will find the sugar molecule label as well as a phosphate molecule label. C, label the missing bases. A, remember to go back to your base pair, complementary base pair rules. A bonds to T. Again, T bonds to A. G, C, C, G, A, T, C, G. D, label a hydrogen bond. Remember, a hydrogen bond join the bases together, and I have labeled a hydrogen bond as D in the diagram. Complete the percentages of bases in the table below. Let's review. Remember to go back to Chargaff rules stating that percentages of adenine and thymine are almost equal in organisms, as well as percentages of guanine and cytosine. So in this first activity, it shows humans have 19.9% adenine, 29.4% thymine. So if we add those two together, we get 49.3. We subtract 49.3 from 100. That gives us 50.7. If we divide 50.7 by 2, it should give us 25.35 for the percentage of bases in guanine and 25.35 cytosine. In chickens, the percentage of adenine is 28.8. We're going to say the percentage of thymine is also 28.8. Leaving 42.4, and we see that the percentage of cytosine in chickens is 21.5. So we can say that the remaining base represents 29.9%. In bacteria, adenine is 13.4. So we're going to say thymine is 13.4. That gives us 26.8. We subtract that from 100, 73.2. Divide by 2. So we can say the percentages of guanine in bacteria, in this particular species of bacteria, is 36.6. The percentage of cytosine in this bacterium is also 36.6. So review your answers. Write the complementary sequence for the following DNA strand. Again, you need to review your base pair rules. A is bonded to T and G is bonded to C. Your answer should look like what you see here in red. Number 4, how are DNA and RNA different? Fill in the table. DNA is a double-stranded molecule as the shape. RNA is single-stranded. DNA has 4 bases: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. The bases in RNA are adenine, uracil, guanine, and cytosine. The sugar found in DNA is deoxyribose. The sugar found in RNA is ribose. The function of DNA is to carry the genetic code, and the function of RNA is to play a major role in protein synthesis or the production of proteins. In the diagram below, strands 1 and 2 represent portions of a DNA molecule. What would strand 2 look like? Base pairing rules. C bonds to G, T bonds to A bonds to T. So the correct answer is D, G-A-T. All right, number 6. In number 6, you will use the chart on the next page to complete number 6. If the sequence on the DNA molecule that calls for a protein is TAC, CAA, ACA, TTA, messenger RNA would be AUG, GUU, UGU, AAU. Transfer RNA would be UAC, CAA, ACA, UUA. Think about the complementary base pair rules to complete the first 3 activities. The amino acid sequence of the protein being made would be MET, VAL, CYS, and ASP. Remember how we read the codon chart during the PowerPoint presentation, using the first base, second base, and third base, and determining where all the bases intersect. That would give us the amino acids for that particular messenger RNA codon. Number 7. In minks, brown coat B is dominant to silver coat. If a mink has a brown coat, what is its phenotype for coat color? The phenotype is brown. What are the genotypes? The genotypes will be big B, and big B, little b. If a mink has a silver blue coat, what is this phenotype? The phenotype is silver blue because it is the recessive trait. A homozygous brown mink was crossed with a silver blue mink. There are 9 offspring. What color are they? Show your work. We're going to use the Punnett square. So brown is homozygous brown. You will see the genotypes for the homozygous brown parent at the top. The genotype for the silver blue parent along the left hand side. We complete the Punnett square. All of the offspring are brown and would have the genotype big B, little b, which is the heterozygous form. In humans, brown eyes, big B, are dominant to blue eyes. Complete a Punnett square between a blue-eyed woman and a brown-eyed man who had a blue-eyed mother. What percent of the offspring are brown-eyed? 50%. What percent of the offspring are blue-eyed? 50%. All right, let's go back and look at the genotypes. We had a cross between a blue-eyed woman. This is recessive trait, so we know there's going to be a little bit. The genotype will be little b, little b. And a brown-eyed man who had a blue-eyed mother, that should automatically tell you that the man is heterozygous for the genotype big B, little b. So when we complete the Punnett square, we will see that 50% of the offspring will be brown-eyed and 50% will have blue-eyed. The pellet color of snapdragons has 3 phenotypes. Plants with big R genes have red flowers. Plants with capital W will have white flowers. And plants with RW genes will have pink flowers. Cross a red flower with a white flower. Looking at the Punnett square, we notice that one parent would be red. So the genotype is big R, and we place that across the top. The other parent is white, big W, so we place that along the left-hand side. We complete the Punnett square as shown. Let's look at A. What percentage of the offspring would have pink flowers? 100%. What percentage of the offspring will have white flowers? 0. What percentage of the offspring will have red flowers? 0. Identify the mode of inheritance. This is incomplete dominance because we are basically showing intermediate zygote between the 2 original parent. In this case, red and white will produce pink offspring. All right, number 10. A man whose parents were normal for color vision marries a woman of normal vision whose parents were also normal for color vision. One of their daughters is colorblind. In this case, the mother must be heterozygous for the trait and the dad must have the trait. The mom is heterozygous for color vision and the dad is colorblind. That is the only way to produce a daughter that is colorblind. This daughter inherited a recessive gene from each parent. Number 11. Mr. Jones questions the paternity of one of his sons. Mr. Jones is type A and the child is type O. If the mother's blood type is also type A, is it possible for Mr. Jones to be the father of the child? Use a Punnett square to explain your answers. It is possible for two heterozygous parents for type A to produce a type O child, as you can see in the Punnett square. Number 12. A phenotypically normal woman has phenotypically normal parents. However, she has a hemophiliac brother. What are her chances of being a carrier for hemophilia? If she is a carrier and marries a normal male, what is the chance of a child being a hemophiliac? Look at the genotypes for these individuals. If a female with normal blood clotting ability, X big N, X little n. Female with normal blood clotting ability, that's a heterozygous carrier, X big N, X little n. Female with hemophilia, X little n, X little n. Male with normal blood clotting ability, X big N, Y. Male with hemophiliac, X little n, Y. By completing the Punnett square, it shows that she has a 25% chance of being a carrier for hemophilia. The gene for the coat color in shorthorn cattle is inherited by codominance. Red shorthorn cattle have RR genes, while short cattle have R' genes. Roan cattle have R' genes. Determine the genes of an offspring of one red cow and one roan bull. Use a Punnett square to show what percentage of offspring should have red coats, white coats, and roan coats. Notice that the genotype for the red parent has been placed along the top, and the genotype for the roan parent has been placed along the left-hand side. By completing the Punnett square, we can see that 50% of the offspring are red, none are white, and 50% of the offspring are roan. Number 14, let's look at the pedigree. Which members of the family above are afflicted with Huntington's disease? Remember, the shaded area represents individuals afflicted with Huntington's disease. And you see 3 generations, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so the individuals afflicted with Huntington's disease will be 1, the father, 2, a daughter, 2, a son, 2, 5, a daughter. How many children did individual 1 have? 6. If you look at the second generation. How many girls did 2, 1, and 2, 2 have? 2. How many have Huntington's disease? 1. So that completes your practice activity. Now let's look at our review activities. This is the sheet I asked you to download and complete for your review activities. Now let's look at the answers. A chart of human chromosome pairs is called a karyotype. What information is revealed in the karyotype above? This karyotype shows the sex of the child. In this case, it is a female. So the correct answer is C. Which of these will complete the messenger RNA strand to DNA? The strand of DNA is CAG, so the complementary messenger RNA strand is GUC, or the correct answer is C. The triplet code of bases for RNA may be represented by all of the following, except we can automatically eliminate B because we see thymine has been included, and we know that thymine is not found in RNA. According to this table, a codon for AGC is the code for which amino acid? Find the first base in the left-hand column. Find the second base at the top. See where the two intersect. Now find the third base along the right-hand side and examine where all three intersect. So the correct answer is C, SER. Number 5. In pea plants, tall plants are dominant to short plants. If two heterozygous tall plants are crossed, what percent of the offspring will probably be short? Remember, this is short. It's the recessive trait represented by small lowercase letters. This Punnett square shows 25% of the offspring will be short. Number 6. In rabbits, short fur is dominant to long fur. According to the Punnett square, what is the chance of two heterozygous short-haired rabbits having offspring with short fur? If we complete the Punnett square, it should look like what you see at the top, and it will tell you that B, 3 out of 4, is the correct answer. Number 7. In snapdragons, the combined expression of both alleles for flower color produces a new phenotype that is pink. This illustrates incomplete dominance. The Punnett square above shows that both the white and red snapdragons are homozygous. Which of the following would be the correct product from a cross between two heterozygous pink snapdragons? So if we complete the Punnett square, you should see that in the first square you should have little r, and the second square R of W, third square R of W, and the fourth square you should have WW. So you should have one red, two pink, and one white. So the correct answer is C. The pedigree shown is a recessive sex-linked trait called colorblindness. In a pedigree, squares are males and circles are females. In the pedigree shown, what is the genotype of 1-1? Remember that the affected individual is always shaded in. So the genotype, this is a colorblind male, so the genotype must be XCY. What is the phenotype of 2-3? The phenotype of 2-3 is normal vision. What is the genotype for the granddaughter of 1-1 and 1-2? You see on the one granddaughter listed in the pedigree, that individual is colorblind, so the genotype is XC, XC.